Oh, I'm making a video, that's right. Hey everyone, Grandmaster Ben Feingold. Um, right now my wife's writing the business plan, but I can't tell you about it because we're just starting it, so it's a none of your business plan. Even when we finish it, it's still none of your business. Um, yeah, supposedly they'll get the stuff out of our place by May 1st, so we can move all of our stuff in. Okay, so that'd be awesome. Um, basically, I thought we should just put sofas in there because that's the chess club that I envision. See, I got to find some $10 sofas. Okay, uh, people have been saying a lot of crazy stuff in the comments, especially about TV shows they like. So I don't understand how you like my videos if you like those TV shows. So maybe you have some dual personality issues. Okay, so instead of spending money at the psychiatrist, you can send it to me, atlchessclub.com/donate. And remember, the more you give, the more you learn. And we need to buy some tables and chairs and chess stuff now. Somebody in the comments wrote they wanted to donate chess sets. That's fine. So, yeah, donate chess sets. We'll take them. And we'll sell them for top dollar. I mean, we'll use them. Some people in the comments had openings they wanted me to look at. And one that I play a lot, although not lately, but in the 80s and 90s I played a lot, is the Chigorin. In fact, I guess I should flip the board, otherwise there'll be very much confusion. Okay, you guys are easily confused. I'm not Alex Fishbein, if you were thinking that. So I'm going to show two games today. They both ended very early. One is one of the quickest games I've ever lost, and that was in 1993. And in 2000, I had the same opening, except I moved 7 or 8. My opponent deviated from my 10-move loss, and I beat him really quickly. But actually, in my 10-move loss, I was much better on move 9, and then I made a very bad move. So we'll have a puzzle for you. Most of you know this game if you watch all my videos, but you probably forgot. Okay, so this was the 1993 New York Open against Igor Novikov. From 1988 to 1992, I lived in Belgium, and so I was back in the USA. I didn't know how lucky I was. Oh, maybe I did. Yeah, because I was born in the USA. Yeah, I don't know. Beatles, Bruce Springsteen, it doesn't matter. Okay, so in this game, I'm playing Igor Novikov, who I guess doesn't play chess anymore, although I'm not sure why. He was one of the top 15 players in the United States for quite a long time. And he actually played in the U.S. Championship in San Diego that I went to, although he didn't really finish very well. He did okay. He was always higher rated than me, but I don't think he had great success in open tournaments and just decided to stop playing chess. Maybe he teaches, I don't know. Okay, so Chigorin. And Igor played away. Again, I've only faced this twice, this game and the other game I'm going to show you. Which was popularized by the world champion Alexander Alyokin, also known as Alekhine, which is the move Queen A4. So he's pinning my knight, and if it's White's move, White's going to play knight E5, and that's not good. So I took the knight, because that's why I played bishop G4. Takes with the G pawn. And now most strong players try to block it up because White has the 2 bishops. So they play E6, and then maybe knight E7, and play sort of blocked and closed. But this was 1993, so I wanted to, play wild and crazy because that's 1993. I was a better player in 93 than I am now, although it's hard to tell from this game since I lost in 10 moves. Okay, so I played the most aggressive move, dc4. It takes a pawn, and now my queen is attacking his d4 pawn. So he played e3. And again, it's probably saner to just play boring, e6, bishop d6, knight e7, but okay, e5, because I played the Chigorin. He took, and I can't take back because my knight's pinned, so I played the move queen d5. So, well, our pawn structures aren't very good, and we both moved our queen out. So if you're a beginning player, you probably should send me money for lessons because you're going to have to unlearn what I'm teaching you here. Okay. Now, this actually, I show all my students, if I show them this game, because I think only a grandmaster would play this move. I think a lower-rated player wouldn't even consider it. And in fact, I didn't consider it during the game. I'm defending my c4 pawn, but not really, because he has two things attacking it. And my queen is attacking e5 and f3. So I thought he would defend either f3 or take on c4. And he did something that makes a lot more sense. He developed a piece, which is knight c3. And probably in 2000, when I played the next game, which I haven't shown you yet, I think I was planning on playing queen takes e5 because the move I played, queen takes f3, didn't work out very well. But it wasn't because of queen takes f3 is fine. Okay, he played rook g1, of course, his rook's attacked. And now I made the losing move. Actually, a computer says several moves give black the advantage. Although this was 1993, so I don't even know if I had an engine then, and if I did, I'm not sure it was better than me, probably. I don't want to tell you the best move because then that might help you refute the bad move. So we'll get to it. Okay, so I played the losing move. I castled long. And the reason I castled long was, well, I'm unpinning my knight on c6. I want to castle. I'm not going to castle the other way because it's impossible. And I thought the most logical move was bishop to g2, attacking my queen. And if my queen moves, it looks like he can take my knight on c6. But I was going to play queen g4, pinning his bishop. So I was like, all right. Okay, so he didn't do that. He made a move and I resigned. And I wouldn't call it an early resignation either. So, okay, white's a move and win. Pause your video and try to find the winning move for white. Okay, so the reason I'm losing actually makes sense. I've moved my queen out, and my queen doesn't have a lot of places to go. So he didn't play bishop to g2. He played a move I didn't see, bishop to e2. If your opponent attacks your queen and you didn't see that move, you might lose your queen. So, yeah. You don't have to look at every legal move when you're playing chess, but if moves put you in check or they capture something or your queen is attacked and you moved your queen out in the opening, you probably should look at that. So there's two squares I can go to where he can't capture my queen, h3. Oh my god, I'm moving slightly again. h3 and f5, and they both lose for the same reason. He just plays bishop g4 and wins my queen. If I play queen h3, then bishop g4 is check, and queen f5, bishop g4 pins my queen. The best way to play is to take here, and yeah. Okay, and I have a rook for a queen, so okay, I'm not going to do this. So I resigned after bishop e2. Okay, so let's go back. In this position, instead of castles, the best move is queen h5. So now my queen has a plethora of squares. I'm attacking the h-pawn, I'm attacking the e-pawn. I'm not, trapped on f3. And next move, I can take one of those pawns or castle, or play bishop b4 or knight e7. Computer actually says black has a big advantage here because, first of all, black's a pawn ahead. Black has 7 pawns and white has 6. White has 2 pawns that are hanging. White can't castle either way. I'm stopping queenside castling with my queen. Obviously can't castle kingside. So he has the 2 bishops, but his bishop on c1 is no good. And he can't really stop me from castling queenside in the next couple of moves. Then I'm pretty safe. So after queen h5, I would have had the advantage, and this wouldn't be a famous game. It turns out, if I remember correctly, this whole game was played before in a tournament in Poland. Black castled and white played bishop e2 and black resigned. So I guess I should learn my theory. So queen h5 and black has a nice position. The computer also prefers black after knight e7 or queen f5. Just castles is just terrible. Okay, so occasionally losing 10 moves, and it might seem like if you're, 2600 USCF, which I was, and 2500 FIDE, losing in 10 moves would be unfortunate. But, I mean, it's probably better to lose in 10 moves when the game takes 45 minutes than lose in 6 hours in a 100-move game when you're playing in a tournament. You have to play another game. So, probably helps my other games that this game didn't take a lot of energy. Okay, now the truth hurts. Let's go to the next game, and then the truth hurts again, but not for me. Okay, so let's see if the computer works this time. Looks like it's working. Okay, and this is actually transposition, because my opponent played queen a4 last game. Here he played e3. Again, the computer suggests e6 and just playing calm, but okay, not playing the Chigorin to play calm. Takes. took on c4. You can also play d4 here, also a good move. And he played queen a4. So after we trade, this is the same position I had in the previous game with a different move order. Okay, and if you remember the last game, I actually stopped at this position and was telling you that my opponent played knight c3 and I didn't see it. Probably I was going to play queen takes e5 because I didn't know any better, but I think I play queen takes f3 today now that I have Stockfish 8 working for me while I'm sleeping. Okay, and my opponent, this is a Class A player from Michigan named Jeff Aldrich. He was the editor of Michigan Chess Magazine. He might still be. I think he was the president of the MCA at one point. Played in the Michigan local tournament. So he played e4, which is not a good move. It lets his bishop on c1 get out, but it doesn't develop any pieces, and it just makes me take a pawn. So I'm up 2 pawns now. Actually, I can't count. I guess I'm up 1 pawn. And the problem is when he recaptured his pawn, I have a very strong move here. So when I say very strong, I don't know if it wins, but it gives black a really big advantage. So what's the best move for black? Pause your video. And of all the puzzles I've given you over the last 55 videos or so, this isn't really a winning move. But after bishop b4 check, it's not easy to make a move because you don't want to pin yourself. Looks like knight d2 because I'll castle queenside. And you can't play bishop d2 because your b2 pawn is hanging and then your rook is trapped. So it's time to move the king. He played king f1, and I played knight e7. So this is a lot different than the last game. I'm not losing my queen. That's the main difference. And I have all my pieces developed, and my opponent's position doesn't make any sense. He has a terrible pawn structure. His king's on f1. His queenside's not developed. Queen's on a4 for some reason. So black already has a big advantage. Okay, he continued not playing well with the move queen b5. He wanted to trade queens, I guess, because his king's on f1. So if he trades queens, it doesn't really matter if his king's on f1. So, of course, I didn't trade queens, and I threatened queen takes f3, which is crushing. He could take on b7. I'd probably just play rook b8 and then play queen takes f3. He played f4, which, again, doesn't develop a piece. It weakens the e4 pawn. It doesn't really help him. Okay, I castled, breaking the pin on my knight, defending my b7 pawn. And now white's really lost. So this is a lot different than the last game. Instead of losing in 10 moves, I'm winning in 15 moves. Yeah, I would expect if 2 grandmasters were playing here, this is close to resignation because his position's so bad. King on f1, rook on h1, queenside's not developed, pawn structure's bad, and black has a perfect position. And this is what you're striving for when you play the Chigorin, is active piece play. That's why you play knight c6. You're trying to develop quickly. So as you can see, even though I have the black pieces, I've castled, I've moved all my minor pieces out, and my opponent can never castle, has 1 minor piece out, and he has the white pieces. He should be ahead in development, not so far behind. Okay, the game concluded pretty quickly. He made another mistake, king g2, trying to get his rook out, I guess, but just missing queen g6 check, attacking his e-pawn. You can't play king f3, and you could play king f3, and then after knight d4 check, you would regret it. So he played king h3, and I played a6. So obviously I can play queen takes e4, which attacks his rook on h1. However, after a6, I don't see a way that his queen can defend his bishop on c4. So when I play queen takes e4 next move, it's a fork. Instead of just attacking his rook, I attack his rook and his bishop. So I played better this game. Okay, he moved his queen, obviously, and I played queen takes e4, forking the rook and the bishop. I think he resigned here. No, he played rook g1. No, I've been wrong before. That was a mistake. He should have resigned. So this is the worst move of the game. Okay, I took. And now I'm up a bishop and a pawn and a lead in development, and his king is exposed. He played a3. He still didn't resign. Queen e6 check. My bishop was pinned. Now my bishop's not pinned. Okay, now he resigned. So that was a lot different than the first game. I castled safely instead of in the first game where I castled losing my queen. And my queen was never really in trouble, and I had a big lead in development. And you'll notice my opponent made 3 king moves and didn't move his queenside pieces, and he made 3 queen moves. So yeah, don't do that. Although if you're playing me, then do that. Yeah, because I like winning. So that was a lot different than the other game, and it really shows you the difference in strength between a professional player and an amateur player. I would say when I'm playing somebody about 2,000-ish, half the games are very competitive, and I sort of win by hook or by crook, and half the games are like this, where they're not competitive, where I just run the guy over. So, of course, this is easier for me, but it's more interesting for the fans when I'm having a tough time against players of that rating. But it didn't happen this game. Okay, so those were games played in 1993 and 2000. You weren't born yet, but I was. So that was my Chigorin video. I didn't really talk much about the middle game or end game because both games sort of ended in the opening. White didn't get to develop his pieces here. And the first game I lost in 10 moves. So those were really quick crushes. And that actually happens a lot in the Chigorin because it's not a common opening and it gets unusual positions that people aren't used to with a lot of tactics. So instead of having sort of a boring developing game where you're trying to get a positional advantage, there's a lot of tactics and active play, and people can lose quickly with either color. And when I was younger, I liked that. And I don't play the Chigorin much anymore because I like to put my opponents to sleep, take their wallet, give them the hot foot, steal their girlfriend, and then win. Instead, when I was younger, I was trying to do, ow, that hurts. Okay, so remember, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Like and subscribe to the YouTube page and my son's page. And give more suggestions, and I'll see if I can delete more of the comments. Okay, bye, everybody.